What up, though, y'all? It's Chris. Appreciate you connecting with me while I'm on the run, getting things done. And your eyes do not deceive you. Your boy is wearing a t-shirt today. It's supposed to be 70, and it feels every bit of it. It's feeling real nice today. It rained earlier and it was windy, so I didn't think that it would get like this, but here we are. We got a nice, very pleasant day here in the Motor City today. But let's get into the topic at hand. Dr. Umar, everyone's favorite content creator. Yeah, y'all know I'm pretty critical of Dr. Umar, but I'm a lighten up. I'm not gonna be as critical. I've seen people say, don't take him seriously. Look at him as a content creator. And I'm going to do that. I mean, I still don't like some of the stuff that he's done. I still don't like the pandering. I still don't like how he collected money for a school that more likely than not is never going to happen. But I'm going to look at him through the lens of a content creator, because I mean, that's really all you can look at him as a content creator. You can't look at him as anything else, honestly, especially now when we know that he's not doing any of the stuff that he's preaching. So he doesn't count as a mentor, a pillar, any of that. He's just a content creator. So that content creator's daughter is also making her own content, and she's having herself a fun time while doing it and embarrassing her dad in the process, which, I mean, I'm sure that's all part of the pleasure for her. The young lady's 22 years old. She's out here right now. She managed to go viral, and so even though she says she didn't want clout, she's not exactly running away from the clout either. She's out here doing twerking videos, and she's asking for cash apps, and she says her range, if you want her to come on your podcast or be interviewed or whatever, her range is $3,500 to $10,000. That's a pretty wide range, in my opinion. Who gets $3,500 and who gets $10,000? I mean, if they a bigger podcast, I guess you gonna charge them more money. I mean, I guess if they're a struggle podcast, like a lot of them are right now, $3,500. Okay, all right. I see you. She says, y'all pay Dr. Umar to get on y'all stuff and do a bunch of running off at the mouth, so y'all gonna do the same thing for her too. I'm not mad at her for being like, I'm not gonna do nothing for free, because whoever brings her on, y'all gonna monetize them videos. Y'all trying to make a buck off of her. That's the whole reason that you bringing her on. If she weren't who she was, being the daughter being the daughter of Dr. Umar, if she wasn't who she was, and I mean, she ain't crashing out, but just, kind of embarrassing him the way that she is right now, there wouldn't be this interest in her. So yeah, pay the young lady. She also showed some screenshot where he's reaching out saying, hey, princess, I'm disappointed by your online behavior and I want to meet for lunch. She wasn't feeling that. She said, because I put you on blast, you want to meet for lunch. When I was reaching out to you, and this is what I said to y'all before, she like, when I was reaching out to you, and basically you couldn't be bothered. You had years, and you talking about, I should have been able to contact you. I'm your daughter. Why I gotta contact you? I mean, she ain't telling no lies with that. She keeping it a buck with that. This is your daughter. And some people were saying, and this is somebody that was in my comments, and it was a woman. I don't think they were trying to be disrespectful or anything like that. We had what I believe a healthy back and forth. She was basically saying that, it could be the fault of the mom and yada yada yada. And I disagree with that, because I know better. I disagree because I know better. A man who is paying child support the mom cannot keep him from seeing the kids. You have rights as a father. You're not just a walking ATM. You may feel like one because of how just aggressive and just ruthless family court is when it comes to dealing with the dads. But you're not a walking ATM. You do have rights. You have the right to see your child that you are financially supporting. So you can go to court, just like how moms can go down there to the court to petition for this and that. Men, dads, you can too. That works both ways. Stop sitting back being ran over the coals by a woman. You get down there and take care of it. If you want to see your child, your son, your daughter, or your children, you can do so. There's no woman that can keep you from doing that. If you paying child support, you have the right to see them. You go down there, you petition for visitation, you get, whatever y'all agree on. If y'all can't come to an agreement, then, the referee will decide, or possibly a judge, whichever one y'all end up being handed off to. And your days and your times are what they are, and there's nothing that the mom can do about it to stop it. And if the mom tries to renege on the agreement, you can have her arrested. Hopefully it won't come to that, but some of these moms out here be on that bitter BS. They mad that you moved on, so they want to try to use the kids as pawns to hurt you. You got to stand vigilant against that. If you got to have her arrested, there's got to be accountability for these actions, because she's not going to pause in any sort of way when it comes to holding you accountable. She's going to do whatever to make you pay, make you suffer, make you receive consequences. So you got to be on the same type of time. A lot of times women are not held to the same accountability standard as men are, and that's why you have a lot of women that behave the way that they do, because they don't really receive any consequences for their bad behavior. A lot of these moms definitely have that going on for them. So stop letting these women get away with that. There's no excuse for you paying child support, as Dr. Umar claimed he's been doing all this time. There's no excuse for you being a man that's paying child support and you haven't seen your kids, because you can see your kids. There literally is nothing, unless it's proven that you on some BS, and I'm not gonna name none of the scummy things, but y'all can probably imagine what I'm talking about. You gotta be a father that's on that type of time for you to be denied. If you are an upstanding citizen, you have no criminal history, you're an upstanding guy, you just want to see your kids, they are going to let you see your kids. You'll see them for Easter and Christmas or whatever too. I had that arrangement going on. And the thing is, when it came to my son, I didn't even have Christmas as one of the visitation days. But his mom would send them over to me anyway, because he liked spending Christmas over at my place. So even though that wasn't part of the order, she still sent them anyway. So, I mean, you got to be adult about stuff. Whatever bitter feelings about what happened when y'all fell out, you got to let that stuff go. It happened years ago, whatever. Let that stuff go. Move on and do what's best for the child. It's amazing that so many people have children together and they can't seem to get along for the sake of the kid. I mean, y'all got along long enough to make the kid, but you can't seem to get along long enough for the sake of making adult, mature decisions for the kid. So I reject what the person in my comments were saying. They were basically trying to make it seem like, oh, well, it could have been that the mom was making it difficult. No, there's no amount of difficult. The mom can try. She can try. But ultimately, there's no amount of difficult that the mom can make it that will be effective if you petition the court for visitation. She can't stop it. She's going to be ordered to allow you to come pick your kid up for these days, these hours, and it ain't nothing she can do about it. Choke on it. It just is what it is. The only way that a man doesn't have access to his children is if he doesn't want it. Hey, mom, listen. And this is how you know that I've done this. I've been through the system. The mom can't even leave the state if the dad does not agree to it. The mom can't leave the state. Let's say the mom wants to, let's say it's a local story. It's a Detroit family. A mom in Detroit, she wants to move to Orlando. She wants to get a BBL and live her best life, this and there. She wants to just take the 2 kids you got with her. No, she can't just do that. She has to petition the court for that. And y'all are going to get on that Zoom call. It used to be meeting in there, but now everything is through Zoom. Y'all going to get on that Zoom call. And if she cannot provide a justifiable reason for why she is going to take away your children, making it so that you can't see your kids that you have the right to anymore, they're not going to grant it. They do not take it lightly when it comes to a mom trying to move. She can be like, oh, well, I've got a job and this and that. They just like, well, you're going to have to find something else here. They don't take that stuff lightly. So, no. There's no putting it on the mom. When it comes to the people that you guys look up to, I'm assuming this is a woman that she must admire Dr. Umar, some things that he has to say, which is probably the case because, remember, he largely was an extreme panderer to black women. So a lot of them, not all, a lot of them want to defend him now that he's been found to, now that he's been exposed to be out there on that BS. But it is even more important for the people who you hold to these high standards, these people who you look at as being examples of how to live and how to move. It's even more important that you hold them accountable when you find out that they own some BS or when they do things that are against what they're preaching. But Dr. Umar's daughter out here twerking on social media and asking for cash apps, and she like, have me get on and I'll talk about my daddy, but that ass is gonna pay. She was on Cynthia G's thing recently. For those of you who don't know who Cynthia G is, she's a woman that is deeply scarred. I'm not even gonna go in on her. I'm being for real. This is a woman that is deeply scarred. She's obviously had some sort of traumas at the hands of a black man or a couple black men or whatever, and she just never recovered from them. She has such a disdain for black men, and here it was an opportunity for her to drag a black man, so I knew she wasn't gonna be able to resist those butter biscuits, so she had her on there. I haven't watched the podcast. I probably won't, but I can only imagine what was said on there, what questions were asked on there. Just, I know that Cynthia G probably had a grand old time during that and couldn't wait to get that video uploaded. But I'm gonna leave it here now, y'all. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. I'll holler at y'all soon. Peace.